What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I'm a freelance sports reporter based out of Minnesota here. And I'm proprietor of this podcast where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's coming on with me today. Her name is Kyra Azore. She is a news producer based out of Detroit, Michigan. She is in the journalism field and also a Howard alumni, Howard University alumni graduate. So we're going to talk to her about her why, get to know her a little bit, and just share stories and break bread. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful and talented Kyra. Good evening. How you doing, Kyra?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. Just want to say thank you for coming on to my podcast. I really do appreciate that. And I also want to ask you, how is your week going so far?
It's going. It's a long week.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that it doesn't get too much longer after today. Hopefully, you got some off days coming up.
No, not really. So we just
Oh,
going.
okay. Okay. Well, you know what? That's all right. We're gonna rock here and we're gonna try to keep it light. We're gonna keep it fun. And I'm gonna reiterate to you why I wanted to have you on here. I know that I'm a journalist based out of Minnesota. You're a news producer, if I'm not mistaken, based out of Detroit. So we're both in journalism. I love talking to likewise people who are involved in journalism because everybody has a story to tell. Since you are behind the scenes, a lot of the times you're kind of controlling the action as a producer. So it's not many times where people get to sit you down and listen to your story. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to build this platform to be able to talk to you. So um, I did, without any further ado, my first question is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models growing up? Did you have any inspirations that you kind of wanted to model your career after? Or did it just fall into your lap? Some people say it fell into their lap by chance. What is your why of doing journalism?
Huh. Well, I don't think it fell into my lap. I think I'm a very community oriented person. I believe in self-determination. I believe in allowing people to be a voice for themselves, and to represent themselves in their own way.
Mm,
And I think with journalism, with media, it has a history of being historically white. It has a history of being historically male. It has a history of being historically well off or elite. And I think as a person who doesn't fit in those roles,
right.
an older white wealthy male, um, I think it gives me an opportunity to not be a voice for voiceless. A lot of people say that. And a lot of people say to amplify the voice of those. But I think it allows me to be in rooms and spaces that people who look like me are often aren't in those rooms, and it allows me to give a platform to their story. So my why is when I in my neighborhood, in my Detroit home, in my
Mm,
predominantly Black neighborhood, what are the stories that are going around? What are the things that are important to my neighbors? What are the issues that we're facing? And my job, my role, my access allows me to take these stories and to elevate them, to tell them, to get the answers to the questions that we have about just basic issues. So I think that's my why. I think everyone tries to figure out what their thing is in life, what their
sure.
purpose is,
Right.
to figure out like how they can make the world a better place. I don't know if this is mine, but I think it allows me to make the place and space where I'm in better, by trying to find, just the answers to basic questions people have.
Absolutely. It's right being a pillar of the community, of your community, right? Being an advocate of your community. Yeah, you hear that phrase all the time, be a voice for the voiceless and that cliche phrase. But at the same time, everybody, has different reasons why they do what they do. I know for me personally, I love sports. I love writing. So I wanted to get into that. I wanted to do that. But I also love mentorship. A lot of these kids that I, write about, high schoolers, collegiate people, now that I've been out of college for a few years now, they always ask me about, hey, that's pretty cool what you do, covering us in journalism, this, that, third. And I'm like, yeah, it's definitely great. It's something that I love to do passionately. And you got to have a passion for what you want to do. So I always try to advocate to them, if you want to go this route, uh, make sure that the same kind of passion and dedication you have when you're practicing doing these sports, you apply that to journalism as well. It's just not something of just taking photos and it looks glamorous, right? Nothing is all glamorous. Like there is behind the scenes work that goes into this, just like behind the scenes work when you practicing your jump shot or when you're throwing a football. It's the same kind of dedication you got to have. So I love that answer right there that you just gave for sure. You're a Howard University grad, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely. I want to know, were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to Howard?
I would say there are any other schools that could have persuaded me from going to Howard. I long decided that Howard University was going to be my home. When I was in high school and I was applying to schools, I was accepted to a number of schools. I really wanted to go to an HBCU.
Yeah.
So my top three were Howard, Spelman, and Fisk. I thought about going to Spelman. I love Spelman. Um,
Mm-hmm. I
institution,
do too.
UC as an institution. My mom went to Clark. My uncle went to Morehouse. I have friends who've gone to all those schools.
Mm-hmm.
But Spelman doesn't have a journalism program, so that kind of persuaded me against it. I
Sure.
love Fisk. I love its campus's history. The campus is gorgeous. But ultimately, when it came down to just weighing out all the things, I was already a little biased towards Howard, but I loved it and I couldn't get enough of it.
I totally understand that. I definitely wanted to go to HBCU school myself. Um, FAMU was definitely high on my list. There's no question about that. I really wanted FAMU. After going down there and visiting that, I'm like, yeah, that's my spot. That's my atmosphere. I'm with this. But money wise, as most of our decisions are made, it just did not work out. So I ended up going to a state school. I actually got denied by Morehouse because I went to school in Atlanta, Georgia, Kennesaw State University. So I knew about Spelman, I knew about Morehouse, and I knew how they get down. I'm like, yeah, this is the type of school that I can definitely see myself at. But because again, those were private schools, and the money just wasn't there. So I had to go to a state school, which was Kennesaw State, which was about 25, 30 minutes away from Morehouse. So I still got a chance to go over there, but I just went to Kennesaw State instead.
I've
So
been over there. Y'all have some nice things over there.
yeah, we do. Yeah, you right. You right. I ain't gonna argue with you on that. It's definitely definitely going down over there for sure.
Atlanta
Um,
is where it has so many schools that I just
mhm,
feel like they all bleed over and they
mhm.
overlap. And I think if you are going to go to school in a city, you want to go to school in a city that has, so many different schools because it's Emory and Georgia Tech and Georgia State, all those schools are there that you just can meet so many people just
Oh,
alone.
you ain't never lied, and it was on and popping from freshman year. No question about it. No question about it. So I like that. Okay, let me ask you some favorite questions, Kyra. Or is it Kyra, by the way? Okay,
Yes.
let me ask you some favorite questions, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Favorite meal you like to cook?
You almost had me. I like to cook. I
Mm,
don't know if it's something I like to cook. Uh,
mm,
um, I don't know. I'm New Orleans girl. My favorite meal would have to be gumbo. I'm not gonna make it.
okay. Okay. Now, fun fact before I ask you the next favorite, last year was the first time I ever went to New Orleans.
What do you
Um,
think?
and, people around me, my family was telling me, you got to try the gumbo. It ain't nothing like any other place. And I'm a huge gumbo person. I like gumbo. I like jambalaya. I like all that. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool, whatever. Yeah, New Orleans, this is a beautiful spot, but let me try it. And I was like, damn, this is some really good gumbo. This is really good jambalaya out here. They know how to do it. Then the beignets out there too. I was like, ooh, okay. I'm at to come back down here to the Ninth Ward and see what's good. See what's good.
Doug, I will not lie to you. It's hard to top New Orleans with food. A lot of people try, a lot of
Hmm.
people think they have.
Hmm.
But I think if you try certain foods, other places, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, the southern food. Now Atlanta got some good southern food now. They do got some good southern food. But when it
I
comes to the
will say something
gumbo,
very controversial though. It is not that hard to fry chicken, cook greens, make macaroni, some yams. Like if we're being if we're being very, I'm keeping it 100 with you.
I know you are.
Beans, black eyed peas, yams. Those are all foods that you can just leave. Like you just put all the ingredients in a pot and you just let them cook down. Those are
That's
all you just cabbage, like you just let this stuff cook down.
you
It's
so
really
right.
hard to mess it up.
You right.
It's not that hard. Just leave it
I
in there
cannot.
long to fight off the salmonella. Like it's the macaroni might some people get tripped up on that, but that's because the kids try too many things. They want to make rules, put 7 different kinds of cheeses in there,
Yeah.
butter, chicken
Yeah.
stock. It's a lot. But battling Southern food is not that hard.
Okay.
You fry it
Okay.
hard. Can you fry it hard the first time? And can you
Hmm.
keep it in the pot long enough that it cooks down? That's it.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's why I buy the food and I let the ladies of the kitchen cook the food. That's
Yeah,
what I do.
you put a smoked turkey, a ham hock, a turkey neck, or something in there, season
Okay.
that. You be,
Okay.
you can't mess that up.
Listen, Kyra, I don't want to say novice. I'm a little above a novice when it comes to cooking, but that's about it. Like we doing spaghetti, tacos, we fry some chicken, ribs. I'm much more of a griller than a cooker. Let me just keep it a buck with you as well. And breakfast, I can cook some breakfast, but
Mm,
that's about it. That's my specialty right there. When you start talking about that southern food, like I said, I put the money on the table and just say, okay, y'all go back. And
that's
then
how I next you
yeah,
up. They make a
that's
very simple Alfredo and have it.
okay.
That's how they gonna get you. I see. It's
Yeah,
okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
Thank you. I
Don't
appreciate
kill yourself. Just don't fall for the Alfredo. Don't see what other kind of pasta can you make. That's how you get the next level.
that. I appreciate that, Kyra. I will keep that in mind, no doubt. Okay.
So,
Favorite concert. Favorite concert you've
favorite
ever attended.
concert. Oh, mm, mm. I would say my favorite concert.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do two. Do two.
Talk to me.
Favorite concert for the music
Okay.
was like 2016. I saw Jasmine Sullivan in Silver Springs, Maryland, and it was like a very small, like House of Blues venue, standing room only. I think that was amazing. I've seen Jasmine Sullivan a bunch of times, but that was like a very small, intimate venue. Like this was the first time I was somewhere where they did an encore and she came back on and she like was singing, but she was also like scatting. She was just displaying incredible vocal range. Thought that was amazing.
Okay.
I think a very memorable concert for me would have to be I saw Chris Brown in 2006,
Oh wow.
2010. That probably was the first and only concert that I like cried in. I was like sobbing. Um, I was a very big Chris Brown fan in my youth. So like seeing him, I was one of those people who was like, I'm obsessed, I'm in love with Christopher Maurice Brown, and I was like sobbing while he was on stage. And was the performance like that in like the next 2 or 3 times I saw him? I don't think I sobbed, but it was
Right. Right.
yeah, it was. I think I've seen a lot of people in concert, and there are a lot of concerts I enjoy. There are a lot of people who, if they're coming to town, I want like Charlie Wilson. I will always go to a Charlie Wilson performance.
Woo. He a bad man right there. He bad. I like that.
Stevie Wonder last weekend. That was an amazing concert.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, I feel I've been to a large number of concerts. I've seen a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think also if I throw one more in there,
Go ahead.
I went to the Alicia Keys. Destiny's Child Missy Elliott concert in like
Mm,
2004.
that's a throwback right there. Okay.
Yeah, like this was right before, like this was the last tour I think Destiny's Child was on before their reunion, their last tour as a group. That
Okay.
was yeah, I really do like concerts. And I will even go see people who I don't know them per se. I did go to a concert this weekend where I only knew like one of the four people performing. Uh,
Okay.
so I think that's a fun way to meet new artists, see what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Good concert.
No, no doubt, no doubt. And I love those artists that you just said. Stevie just came here on the 27th, so in Minneapolis. So no question about that. I'm huge into R&B and rap and hip hop. One of my favorite concerts that I've ever went to was Breezy's. I also saw Breezy as well. Usher as well. I've seen him in live. Jay-Z and Kanye, they watched the Throne tour. Lil Wayne versus Drake was another one that I thought was pretty dope that I saw years ago. I got a chance to see even Michael Bublé. I thought Michael Bublé was pretty good in his
Hmm.
concert. Yeah, his concert was pretty good. Alicia Keys, her world tour, saw her as well. So a lot of the same artists that we definitely vibe with for sure. Even the throwback artists that that I went to. I think one of the concerts I went to was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was Music Soul Child, and
I
that's
have
one.
gone to a Music Soul Child. I was
Yeah.
in college and Music Soul Child was performing in like Brooklyn. I spent the
Mm-hmm.
summer and he was performing at a park in Brooklyn. They were doing like weekly tours, and it was pouring raining, and I
Oh
was
wow.
in the rain with my umbrella with my friends, listening to Music Soul Child, and yeah, that's how much I love a concert. Like I am for a vibe. I am for a summer concert series. I
Mm,
I will see someone, even if
okay.
I know one or two songs. I will go and see someone. That Music Soul Child was really good. He was out there singing.
He was. He's one of my favorites. Very like Jasmine Sullivan is a good one too. She's underrated. She's underrated. Not a lot of people pay attention to her, but you know, I think she's good. I think she's solid.
Okay, so when you go to concerts, what do you look for? Because I think there are two things. You can either go to a concert because you really like the artist and you want to hear them sing live, or you
Mm-hmm.
know that they're going to put on a show.
Both. So both of those. Because here's my thing. When you go to a concert and they sing live, you know, buying a CD or hearing them on Pandora is one thing because it's computer generated most of the time, right? Their voices can be altered, can be changed, all that. But when you hear somebody live, it changes your perspective of them because now they can perform. They're doing their thing. But then there's also some singers who are not very good live. Do you hear them? That ain't it. That is not what I heard. You know what I mean? So I definitely go to listen. No question about that. I want to listen. I want to hear that authenticity of that song, of your voice, of that passion. Can you keep it up when you are doing these concerts night in and night out? Right? People paying a lot of good money to do that. You then separate yourself from being a person that can sing and then a person that can perform and then a person that can do both. Those are the three categories, right? And I'll give you a prime example. To me, Beyonce is a hell of a performer, but I don't know if she's as great singing. I don't know that. Jennifer Hudson can sing her you know what off. Jennifer Hudson can sing J Hud, but
Mhm.
she's not much of a performer. So that's where the difference for me lies. How about what do you say to that?
Um, I do believe that there is a difference between a singer and a performer.
Okay.
When
Okay.
it comes to
Okay.
performance, there are certain people who have set the standard extremely high. I
Right.
think you think of performers, you're thinking of your Michael Jacksons, you're thinking of
Yep.
your Princes, you're thinking of your Charlie, you're thinking of someone who you know for 2, 3 hours, they're going to get up there, they're going to sing, they're going to dance, they're going to change their clothes. Like you are going to be constantly waiting for what's next.
Right.
I think in terms of this generation, Beyonce is the only option, but I think there is a difference in her artistry than other performers. I'm not sure how old you are, but Beyonce been making music. my whole life. Like she has released an album for the entirety of my like she's been on the number one hit list for my whole life. So when you talk about someone who has a 20, 30 year discography from multiple girl groups in a solo album, to be
Mm,
able to go and mix in your songs with your songs and to see like how that music flows and to be able to grow as an artist, I think that's
hmm.
interesting to watch. And I don't think as a society we'll ever see another artist have a decades long career like this. I was literally just listening to Beyonce's album B Day,
Okay.
and I was like, wow, this album has, 13, 14 songs, and she doesn't have a single curse word in this album.
Right.
How can you have like this is an album full of bangers and there's not a single curse word in it? That is crazy. Freakum dress, give me body. Like
You taking it back now?
it's
Okay.
not cool. Like these are songs that people will dance to. This album is 20 years old. You don't have a single curse word. That's crazy. The people can't
Right.
like that now. Not an R&B or pop album. And I
No, no.
like people like Jennifer Hudson. I think people like Jasmine Sullivan, Ari Lennox. I think these people are amazing talents, have amazing voices. But I think
Yes.
that you're going to go to a concert of theirs. I don't expect them to hang from the ceilings. I
Right.
don't expect three wardrobe changes. I don't expect a full dance number. I really expect it to be a single spotlight, a single microphone, and some fire background singers. That's really
Right. Right. You don't expect the ensemble, is what you're trying to say, of a whole thing, of a whole performance, a whole
no. And
show.
when it's just you, when you are it, you
Hmm.
have to you have to sing.
Right.
You're
Absolutely. Absolutely.
not gonna dance. You're
Right.
you gotta bring it. And so I think
Absolutely.
that is, something that people face, but I wouldn't necessarily put all of, those people in the same category because I think they all have incredibly different talents. Uh,
Sure.
from singing to songwriting. But yeah, I
I
do
like I like that. So we vibe on that one. I like that. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
favorite place I've ever traveled to would have to be Barcelona, Spain. Yeah, I'm going to Barcelona.
Okay. Now, was that like a family trip, a girls' trip? What was that?
It was a birthday trip that was not actually a birthday. My best friend has a birthday in early November, and we went in late November. Uh,
Okay.
birthday, and we just had a great time. It was one of those trips that like made it out of the group chat, but like really didn't make it out of the group chat when it group chat first started. 3 people who agreed to go, and we ended up with like 4 people. And it is a like across all of our friend groups. The people know about this trip. We've had friends go to Barcelona after our trip from hearing about our trip, and it's a trip that we're like, we could go to Barcelona tomorrow. Like, is there a ticket? Can we get there? We love Barcelona. It's I'm pretty sure he texted me last week and was like, "Do you want to go to Barcelona next year?" Yeah, that's it was a great trip. It was a great city.
Wow.
We just really had like one really good brunch time. And you know what all it takes is like one good meal or one good drink in the city for you to be like, yeah, this is
You're
amazing.
right. You absolutely right on that one.
That's
So I've
really
been traveling.
that's why we love Barcelona.
Right, right, and that's on my bucket list too, by the way. To go there, 'cause I've never been to Spain before, but I've been to Cabo San Lucas. And then recently I just came back off of a cruise. So now my new favorite place is the Cayman Islands. No question about that. Um, and I'm hooked because I'm planning on going on another cruise in 25. I'm hooked.
How do you
So
feel about, some people are like weird about, was it a 7 day cruise?
yeah, so my dad ended up setting everything up, and it was 9 of us that went. So like a nice family cruise. He set it up. We ended up going to Cozumel, Mexico, Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and the
That
Bahamas.
we're talking about. My family
Right.
here, that was a very interesting time. Probably 25 years ago, we've never done it again. But we had a great time. I won't be 20. It wasn't 25 years ago. It might have been 20 years ago, and we haven't done it. But I had fun.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's my first cruise. I've never been on a cruise before. Hell, it's my passport. I got a passport this year. This is my first time getting a passport. So, for me, somebody who's never been on a cruise, I'm in my 30s now, and I'm like, okay, you know, I got to start living a little bit.
That
Yeah,
part.
I've traveled a little bit, but I want to travel like to different cultures, different spaces, see different things. My dad, he kind of hooked me on it last year. He was like, "Yeah, son, I really want to do this. I want to get the whole family together." I said, "Okay, I'll make time for it. I'll space it out." And I did that, and I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll get my passport. Got my passport." And I said, "I'm hooked." I said, "I'm gonna think about going on another cruise in about I'm gonna say about 6 months, at least 6 months, probably sometime in March and April. I'm gonna go on another one for
Where do
sure."
you what was the starting point?
The starting point was Miami.
Okay.
Yeah. So, um, we ended up flying into Fort Lauderdale, and it's crazy because my dad he ended up buying bus tickets for us to get bussed over to the port. So he said, "Everybody flying to Fort Lauderdale, I'll buy you the bus ticket. We'll go to that." But the reason why he didn't want us to fly into Miami is we found out that it was Taylor Swift weekend. All weekend, Taylor Swift dominated the Miami weekend. It was
It
her
was on.
last like performances in Miami, and I was like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
And the Swifties came out everywhere. When I was on my flights, almost everybody on the flight was going to the Taylor Swift concert. That's crazy.
Yes. No. I will say I have done that cruise. I think it's a great cruise. I think 7 day cruises are really nice. I know a lot of people aren't okay with being on open water for like a full day and not being able to see land. But I do think cruises are a very nice way to see multiple places in a short span of time. And because you're on like a floating boat with, an open bar and endless food, it's pretty bearable. I will
Yeah,
say now, when you plan your Europe trip, the great thing about Europe is that everything is so incredibly close together. And they
right.
have, a monorail train system. So you can get from Barcelona to Paris in 2 hours for a 40
Okay.
train ticket. You can get from Paris or, to London on a 2 hour train ride. Like everything is super close. Whereas, for you to get from New York to LA, that's a 5 hour flight.
5 hours.
And,
Yes.
it's not going to be $40. But, to say that you can go from major city to major city in different countries
Right.
for 40, $60. And you can get like a first class train. Like you can just go and on a 2 hour train ride. I think that's one of the reasons why I always tell people like when you look to go abroad, give yourself 5, 7 days and try to figure out how many cities.
Absolutely.
You can do 2 cities here, 2 days here, 2 days there, and
Be
explore.
good. You will be good. Then once you do that, and the thing is, not to cut you off, my bad, but 3 day trips. Somebody was like suggesting 3 days. I'm like, nah, I'm not going on a cruise for 3 days. That don't. If I'm going on a cruise, it's at least going to be minimum 5. Max is gonna be 7 to 8 because I don't want to be on no cruise for 2 weeks. At some point, I'm gonna get tired of that damn boat, and
Yeah.
it's time to get back into my bed. It's time to get back home. But 5 to 8 days, perfect. You can see some cities. The cruise that I'm actually thinking about going to in the next 6 months is gonna go to Honduras. It's gonna go to Belize and San Juan, Puerto Rico. So that's the cruise I'm actually thinking about going on to do. So I'm like talking to my travel agent right now. We're trying to crunch some numbers and see what's good because I'm also wanting to set aside some money for some excursions, possibly to see if I'll be able to do that. So yeah, we're definitely gonna get that solidified within the next month.
I am so excited for you. Puerto Rico is super nice.
Yeah.
Belize is amazing. I mean, these are like lush forests, gorgeous beaches. This is gonna be so fun.
Listen, I'm gonna give you the 411 when I come back from it. Trust me, we're gonna stay in touch. We're gonna do that. Okay. Now, Kyra, I'm a sports person. Okay, so I gotta ask you a sports question. So here we go. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? Could be the same sport.
I don't really have a favorite sport I like to watch on TV.
Okay.
To attend in person, hands down, not a sports girly by any means.
Okay.
Of a football game,
Mm.
particularly a high school football game.
Okay.
Friday Night Lights football game. I am a Louisiana girl. I am a Southern girl. I I love a football game. Like, yes, God bless them boys. I love a high school football game. I am also a connoisseur of concession stand nachos, so I do. I love those little circle nacho chips with that cheese that we're not really sure if it's cheese. I love that. I love that for real. But I do actually love going to like summer baseball games. I think summer baseball games are like a Saturday day game,
Okay.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, an 85-degree day. Yeah, let's go out there. Let's get a little heat exhaustion, skip 6, 7 innings, and go team. Uh,
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that. Well, listen. Stick with me a little bit. I could teach you a little bit of sports if you allow me now. You
I
allow
do.
me.
I could know sports. I just really, it's just never.
I feel it. I feel it. Listen, basketball is my favorite. My favorite sport. I don't know if you ever got into basketball or not, but I can listen. I'm not trying to overflow you with sports. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't gonna do that. Okay. I'm gonna be the friend to let you know, hey, listen, this is what's happening, this is what's going on. Or if you need to hit me up and say I'm watching something and I don't know what's going on, I'll be like, okay, I got you, Kyra. I'll break it down to you. You know what I mean? That's the type of friend I am.
I just want to let you know this, and I'm almost embarrassed to say I'm really not. My dad's a referee. So yeah, my dad's a college.
Shout out to your dad, by the way. That's what's up. I love that. I
Yes,
love
we
hearing
love the officials. He's a back judge for college football, and he also does a little basketball when he feels like it. So yeah, I that's really how I become a connoisseur of concession stand nachos because growing up as a kid, my
that. Right.
I would go to games with my dad. So I've been to hundreds of thousands of games of from
Yeah.
little league
That
to
that pretty much tells me you ain't it. It ain't it. It ain't happening. I feel it.
no, but I have a lot of skills. I at some of the games I've had to work the scoreboard. I know the calls, I know the plays.
Okay. Okay.
I,
Well,
I was never going to be one of those people who's like, I love the game. I'm going to become a coach. I'm going to play the game.
I feel it. You listen, it's all about driving in the lane that's your lane, right? You
Yes.
got to stay in
Well,
your
I
lane.
love, I love supporting it. I love supporting my dad. He's done this easily 30 years. I
Mm.
love to go to the games where he's working to see. And people are like, what team are you rooting for? I'm like, the officials. I'm rooting for the officials, people. That's all go team black and white. That's
Go stripes is what you saying.
that's the team. No.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Now you say you Louisiana now, but I want to know what is your favorite restaurant that you like to eat at? Now you don't have you can say Louisiana or you can say Detroit, whichever one place you want to choose.
Detroit. Please. Detroit food over Louisiana food. Please stop. Um, listen, I once again not going to be embarrassed to say this. I love hole in the wall, corner store, gas station food from Louisiana. Like, please, let's go to the gas station. Let's go to the Brothers and let's get us this breakfast plate that's $5 with grits, eggs, two meats, a piece of bread, and a drink. Like that's I absolutely love that.
Okay.
You love me a good ghetto play. I want it to be someplace that's like, oh, we went to the Blue Stove and this the $5 special. That's what I want.
What I'm talking about. That's
That's
the
what
kind of friend I need, damn it. I need that kind of friend. $5 special,
that's
that's what I'm
what
talking
yeah,
about.
let's go to the Blue Stove and get a $5 special. That's what I
Oh,
want.
no doubt. No doubt. Listen, people try to kick that. Sometimes you be around bougie people sometimes and they don't act like they be getting them plates. I get them plates all day long. It don't matter to me. Food is food. It don't matter if it's Lakeisha cooking it or Curtis cooking it or
Wait,
Marianne.
who
It
wants you
don't
to
matter.
put in your mouth? I also love the Waffle House.
Hello. Hello. I've lived in Atlanta, Georgia. That got me through my college. I was right across the street from a Waffle House.
I love the Waffle House, but I do say I would like to speak to some people in management at the Waffle House because I ever, ever been to the Waffle House and paid the same thing for my meal. And I do understand it's because they do the math by themselves and they kind of make up some of the prices. Because I get the same thing, the All Star Special. The inflation hasn't hit that hard for the All Star Special. They'd be like, it's $42 for what? I was just here last week and it was $27. What are y'all over here doing? What kind of math are we doing? We might have to move to automation because they always say it so flat out, like, oh yeah, it's
Did you
$30.
say $42?
What did I get? This is a regular waffle. This is not a chocolate waffle. This is regular hash brown. They're not smothered, covered.
Oh,
These is regular. This is the base model.
right. Oh, okay. No, listen. I feel you because when I get that All Star Special, Kyra, I get the double waffle. I get the double waffle with the All Star
That should
Special.
be $15. But
Right,
you know,
right.
write stuff down and they be like, yeah, this is this is your order. And the thing is, I never argue with them either. It's like whatever you say, girl. $50, okay. I
Uh,
obviously pay for everybody in here at this point.
su- sugar honey iced tea. You know the acronym on that one. I ain't gonna say the word, but you know the acronym now. I ain't doing all that. You know doggone well it don't cost no $50 for this fruit punch and this All Star Special. You better come on now.
I'll tell you that I do frequent some neighborhoods at some certain times. I'm not really gonna argue with you about certain stuff. I,
Okay,
I can't.
I respect it. I respect it.
I
I,
already know.
I promise you, I'll be in the Applebee's arguing. If I see the bill talking about, hold up.
I'm definitely arguing with you in Applebee's. I'm a definitely argue with you in. But see, Waffle House is the open air kitchen. The chef is right there. It's nearly hibachi in here.
You right. You right. You
They
right.
like Applebee's. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's funny. That's funny. He be like, your meal costs $42. Like, where they do that at? Where they do that at?
sit down and
$42.
work with some of this. Like,
Right. Right. I feel you on that. Okay. That's what's up. Let's talk about your day to day. Okay. Obviously being in this industry, every day is different. We never have a day that's absolutely the same as journalists or people in this journalism field. Um, Talk to me about being a news producer, getting stories together, controlling everything behind the scenes. What time does your day start? When does it end? It's not regular hours. I know that. It's not like an 8 to 4 where be like I could punch out at 4 and go home and do my thing. Sometimes you got to stay later and do extra stuff. So tell me what a day to day is like for a news producer like yourself.
um, the day to day is, as you said, it's constantly different. No day is the same. I think that's one of the things that attracted me to journalism. It's not like some of
Redundant.
the jobs that are very, I'm going to do the same thing at the same time every day. It's literally, you never know how the day is going to go once it starts.
Right.
I do work mornings currently. I've worked a lot of shifts. So my day starts at 3 a.m.
Whew.
morning shifts. So I usually get to work allegedly between 4:30 and 5. Day starts with checking emails.
Mm,
Um, I do turn on the TV and put the news on, see what's happened overnight from when I allegedly went to bed early.
right.
Since when I've woken up, just seeing some things. I love local news, so just kind of seeing like what's happened in the city.
Mm,
Sometimes I will try to watch our competitors to see how they're covering something different.
okay.
But I do find myself reading lots of articles, lots of news blurbs, lots of like newsletters from different publications, just kind of seeing some of the stories that they're following when it comes to like the economy and politics and things of that nature. So lots of
Right.
reading and trying to always find a way that my viewers may find this interesting, may see why this is important to them, localizing stories, get to work and I instantly start producing my show. I have a 1 hour show that I do every day. So just seeing what some of the other producers are doing, what some of the stories that they've thought were important that they're following, seeing what our reporters are doing. And then because my show is the fourth hour of news and 5 straight hours of news, um, I try to see what my coworkers are doing and their shows that come before mine and seeing what ways I can make mine a little different because we share the same anchor. So it's not like they're reading the same 5 stories for 5 hours straight, but just seeing what I can bring new to the table, how I can freshen something up. So that's
Sure.
pretty much the first half of my day. The second half of my day is focused on streaming, special projects. So I'm constantly looking for different stories that we might be able to do, trying to set up interviews for some of our anchors so that they can do kind of things. So I have my hands in a lot of fires constantly,
I
um,
hear.
just trying to see like what's something going on that we can, how can we be a part of this? How can we cover this for our viewers? And how can we do it in a way that sets us apart? So constantly thinking when I go places, saying, "Oh, this is really interesting. With this, how can we tell this story of this person?" Because I believe every person, every organization has a story worth telling. Um, and I'm inquisitive. Some people call it nosy. So anytime I go somewhere, I see someone, I may ask a couple questions and say, "Hey, well, this was a good story." I might get their contact information and see if we could set something up in the near future. So that's what my day looks like. Does it really stop? Not really. It just depends on the day. If there's, I'm very passionate about my work.
Absolutely.
So if I'm working on a special project with a photographer or a reporter, and it's going
Hmm.
to happen after my shift is done, I may stay late to, make sure that they're able to get that done. Or if I'm working on something and I'm kind of on a roll, I might not. I don't really give myself a, oh, it's 2 o'clock, oh, it's 3 o'clock, I have to get out of here. I try to finish when the work is done, um, but also try to prioritize my outside of work life. So if I don't have anything to do outside of work, then
Absolutely. No question, which is a great segue that you talked about that because I want to talk about mental health and work life balance. As you know, being again in this journalism industry, the words that we hear a lot are burnout, overworked, underpaid. I'm sure you've had colleagues that have stepped aside and went to do something else or just quit altogether. I know I have, being in this industry as well. It's a tough industry sometimes to be in because depending on where you're at, certain companies don't prioritize mental health. They prioritize the bottom line. So, my question to you is, how do you manage your mental health? And also, how do you manage your work life balance? You seem like somebody who is wonderful to be around. I certainly wouldn't mind being around you for sure. I know you have friends and family and different things, like you said, outside of your life you like to do, but you also seem about your work as well and about your business. So, how do you manage both of those? Not have those burnout moments or, you know, situations like that.
um, so I think it's twofold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One thing I will say, and this might contradict my previous answer, I do try very hard to leave work at work on things that I can leave work at work on.
Okay.
Some things, constantly surround you. Politics, presidential election, like there's some things you just can't escape. But when it comes to death, destruction, murder, school shootings, I really try to leave work at home. If I can go throughout my day and not have to see video of a school shooting or not see video of a police encounter that turns deadly, I won't
Right.
watch it because oftentimes the people look like me. They come from similar backgrounds as me, and I can, see myself in them or their story. So I try not to avoid it. Personally, I don't think I've ever seen the full 7 minute George Floyd video in its entirety. I
Mm.
just found it wasn't something that I needed to watch for my job, just because there were so many other people kind of who caught the video before I did that. I didn't have to watch that, so I'm never
Sure.
that's something when it comes down to mass tragedy. I'll avoid. I'll stay away from them. I won't force myself to watch that if I don't have to for my job. The other thing is especially on the weekends, totally leave work at work. The work phone is off. The email is nearly disabled. I'm not watching the news. I'm not consuming the news. My television is on like Hallmark and Real Housewives. Like I'm totally so far removed from it. You could call me and ask me about it. I'm like, I don't know. Because I realized that when you work somewhere where it is your job to know the horrors of this world, to know all of the evils of everything, and to share it with people, it does become a very daunting task to
Right.
constantly remind people of the horrors of war or the horrors of climate change or how mass deforestation is really impacting our world or what, sexual acts are going on in places and how this is impacting children and gun rights. Like when this is what you spend your day doing, I think it's important to find a way to escape that. Um, I do enjoy hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my loved ones. I obviously don't work in my hometown anymore, so I do prioritize going home and seeing my immediate family as often as possible. Uh,
Absolutely.
I prioritize being off for holidays if I can do so. So
Yeah.
those are some of the ways. And when I talk to my friends, whether it's my friends in the industry, whether my friends who work in other industries, we don't talk about news. We talk about, what's going on in your life, what
Hmm.
is this video you saw, what are the things. And so I think that also helps me to kind of quote unquote touch grass and, see what other people are going on because in reality, everyone doesn't watch the news every day. Everyone isn't fully consumed with that. So I try to remember that, like, while my day to day life may be filled with watching 10, 12 hours of news, that's not what the average person does. So just sitting and, talking to my best friend for an hour and seeing my nieces and nephews and playing with people on FaceTime, like just little things that kind of just says, yeah, there is good in the world. There are things to be happy about. There are things that are actually going pretty okay. This,
Absolutely.
you know, you may see.
I love that. I really do love that answer, Kyra. I do. It's a question worth asking because sometimes people get a misconception about this industry that is glamorous, right? They see you on TV, they see people on TV, reporters, or they see you as an anchor, and they think that it's a glamorous type of deal. And that's one of the reasons why I came to do this podcast is you have to know the A side and the B side, right? The A side is what we do as far as our job. We love doing our job. I love going out there covering games. I love going out there doing feature stories. I love telling stories that nobody else has told. You love producing. You love doing what you do, but there's also a B side. And you mentioned it about prioritizing holidays. Sometimes you do miss holidays being in this industry. Sometimes you do miss birthdays and celebrations. Sometimes you have to move away from loved ones and family. I'm in Minnesota. My mother and my family are back in Georgia. My dad is in New York. I'm here by myself in Minnesota. So, but I'm here because I love doing what I do, and I'm here doing my dream. This is something that I wanted to do all my life, pretty much. I wanted to cover sports because I love it with a passion. And people that come into this industry need to know you got to be as passionate as I said before. You cannot get in this industry for the wrong reasons because you won't stay in it. You just won't stay in it. And I tell people that you got to figure out your reason of what you do. And then once you do, pursue it with all your might. So I love that answer for that. And but it's also a great segue too. Because now I want to ask you about advice. What is some advice that you would give maybe a recent graduate or somebody that may be a little seasoned like us being in this journalism industry that, wants to join this industry? What advice would you give that individual becoming in this industry?
I'm gonna give you three things and I'll go through each of them. The first thing
Talk
I
to
would
me.
is do it scared, be afraid. What's the worst that can happen? I think when it comes to journalism, when it comes to first market jobs, when it comes to doing things, it's often not in your hometown. It's often not where you went to college. You have to move away. You have to do something that's a little uncomfortable. We all know the phrase, comfort and growth don't really go together. You have to, to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. And
Yeah.
so I would say you just have to do it. You have to take the leap because what's the worst that can happen? If you move to a city, if you hate it, if the experience is bad, at least you did it. At least you know
Yep.
to do it. At least you had this experience. At least you 30 years from now can look back and say, well, I don't have to wonder what it should have, could have, what would have happened,
Yep.
because you did. Um,
Because you did it.
and I am a firm believer that you can reinvent yourself a myriad of times. If it doesn't work, try again. If that wasn't the job, there's another. So I will always tell recent graduates, you just do it scared, even people who've been in the industry, ask for promotion, take the new job, take the leap, because once you get comfortable, once you've mastered all those things, if you don't push yourself, your supervisor isn't necessarily going to push you. You have to do it scared in order to do it big. The second thing I will say is passion and purpose. I think that's very important. You have to be passionate about it. You can't be in this industry to be about yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes people fall into journalism. They become journalists because they want to promote themselves, they want to promote their own brand. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in an industry where you will be missing holidays, where you'll work weird hours, where you'll rarely see your family, and you'll spend more time in the community that you're covering, you have to be passionate about it. You have to have a passion for people. You have to have a passion for telling their stories, because when it's Christmas and there's a blizzard and you're in the newsroom and you're not with your family, like that passion for storytelling, that passion for your community is what's going to help you feel a little bit better about that situation.
Right.
I also tell people in terms of passion and purpose that you just have to remember that you are created for such a time as this. Like, whatever you're thinking about doing, whatever you feel you're called to do, you are properly equipped to do it. So if you think a certain brand of stories is your niche, you really want to cover this story, or you really want to make these interesting long form features on different people, your thing, you're equipped to do it. You just have to do it. You have to do it scared, and you have to have the passion for it. So I think that would be my advice to recent graduates, people in the industry, anyone facing burnout. Find your passion, find your purpose, do it scared, and always remember what's the worst that can happen. If you fall this time, you get up the next time.
Mm. I mean, you speaking the gospel right now, girl. There's no question about it. When it comes to this industry, for sure. What beautifully said. No question about it. Ain't no need for me to add nothing to that. We have come to the part of the conversation now. Now we're going to do this or that. So it's a little interactive game that I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard Play Hard podcast. Is basically throwing out a couple things and you get to choose this or that. Kyra, are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, here we go. So we've been vibing all conversation long. Okay, there's no question about that. Love everything you bring to the table. This first question is pretty important. What restaurant are you going to choose? Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes.
Okay.
Only in
I
Louisiana.
mean, I mean, that was a layup. I mean, if you didn't get that one right, I was like, oh Lord, we're gonna
I
have
don't
to
even
end
know
this
what they have on the menu at KFC.
show. You say you never had KFC?
I don't know what they have on the menu. Oh, they have mashed potatoes, but they have mashed potatoes at Popeyes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But they have macaroni and cheese. Do they have macaroni and cheese at Popeyes now?
No. Now, had
Uh,
you said churches, I might have would have had to change my answer.
well, you know that, and see,
Has
that's the reason
jalapeno
why.
poppers.
That's you said who?
Churches has jalapeno poppers
I never had that.
and honey biscuits.
Oh yeah, the biscuits is off the chain. Churches is my number two. Church is my number two.
They fry. I don't even eat chicken. That's the funny thing. I don't even eat chicken. They fried whole chicken. You could get gizzards at churches. You can't get gizzards at Pop.
You know you from the south. You talking about gizzards? you
You get like fried liver at churches. They got the whole chicken in there.
They do. They do. Okay. So I like that though, but I like that you picked Popeyes. Now here's my next one. Chicken wing. Now you say you don't eat chicken, right?
I'm still I can answer the question whatever it is.
Okay, here we go. Chicken wing flavors, barbecue and lemon pepper.
Barbecue.
Okay. Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Wet. But
Okay.
not
Do you like
dripping wet.
okay.
I don't like dry rub.
But you don't like dry rub. Okay, here we go. I'm a wet person too now. Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Bone in.
So you like
Bone
to get a little messy. You like to get messy.
bone in is nuggets. I'm too old to be eating nuggets. Please. Eat the chicken wing, I'm eating chicken wing.
Hold up. How you gonna say you too old to eat nuggets? No, you ain't. No, no, you not. Stop
It's
it.
all it is short chicken tenders. You might as well order chicken tenders at that point.
You right. You right about that. But you are you gonna say chicken tenders ain't good?
They don't really have no flavor. They just it's breaded chicken. That's what people feed their toddlers. Okay, that's why it's on me for the toddlers. That is not for you grown folks. Please order something else.
Okay. Okay. Listen. Look here. I ain't gonna. I'm not gonna cap to you. Okay. When I go to Popeyes, sometimes I get that 3-piece tender. Them tenders be long at Popeyes. I get the barbecue sauce. I dip that thing up in there.
You're not eating chicken tenders at like Applebee's, Chili's,
Okay. No. 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 Don't do that.
Outback. Like that's the places where you be like, they don't have no flavor on this chicken.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I don't do that. If it ain't a steak at Applebee's or some ribs, uh, I'm not. I'm not even ordering nothing else. Yeah, I'm ordering steak or ribs because steak, you get a nice little steak, get a baked potato, get a vegetable, you straight. Give me something to drink, I'm good with it. That's what I like to get for the most part because you know I'm a huge meat person. Like I'm a carnivore to the core, straight up. I love me some meat. So there we go.
Steak,
Oh,
I eat your steak.
you said what?
Eat your steak.
Absolutely. I love ribeye. I love short.
How do you like it cooked?
Oh, how do I like my steak? Sorry about that. Medium rare. Yeah, medium rare. I need it to be bleeding a little bit, but not well done.
Are you really a steak eater then? You know, they say the steak eaters like it a little pink. I
Yeah,
don't
that's what I'm saying. A little pink for me.
know. Okay, but
Yeah.
not medium.
Mm, well, maybe a lot pink. Maybe medium. I like medium rare. That's what I like. That's what I like. Medium rare. Yes, I definitely like that. I can't do it well done because then I gotta overload the sauce on the steak. I gotta taste the juices.
Yeah. I support that. You have earned your carnivore status.
I appreciate that. Now listen, long as you deem that on me, then I'm good. I'm all good. I'm with you on that. Okay. Here we go for this or that. Next four is gonna be music concerts. Okay. Music concerts you rather go to. Now you a concert goer, so here we go. Which concert would you rather attend? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick Lamar. I've had
Okay.
I've seen Drake. I have not seen Kendrick Lamar, so I would like to see Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Which concert in a prime would you rather go see? Whitney Houston or Janet Jackson?
Please, Whitney Houston. Please, please. I see Whitney Houston in her prime and not in her prime.
Okay, now. All right, here we go. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I love you some Whitney. Which person would you rather see in concert? Brandy or Monica? Oh, you paused for a minute.
Monica.
You sure?
I like Donica. Yeah, I like Monica's songs a little bit better. Brandy can
Okay.
sing, but I don't think Brandy's going to give me the same level of performance that
Okay.
Monica. I'm going to a Monica concert hoping that C Murder might come out. Like she might perform down for my niggas. I don't know. I'm not gonna get that at Brandy, okay? The person who will
Monica do it. Monica is hood now. She bring that
The
ATL
person
out in
who
her.
will perform with Brandy is
Yeah,
Whitney, and Whitney's gone. So our
yeah.
other options are Ray J,
Oh no, no,
Monica.
no.
Like
Oh
those are the people who Brandy will bring out. Ray
no.
J or Monica. And if she gonna bring out Monica, I might as well just go see Monica.
You
No,
might as well, because Ray J need to keep his ass at home. Let's just do that. He needs to straight up. Don't hit no stage. Don't hit nothing.
Sexy Can I is absolutely a banger, but he is chaotic.
You ain't lying. And that's sexy can out. That came out when I had braids. So you see me struggling over here with hair.
Like, Sexy Can I one wish and I hit it first. Like,
Come on now. Yeah, come on. Come on. All right, here we go. This is the next concert, last concert one. Which concert would you rather attend? Boys the Men or New Edition? Uh-oh, you stopped. That means you thinking. This must be a good one right here.
well, I'm not really I'm not really thrilled on any of them. But if Boys to Men are sing their Christmas album, sure. New Edition is very nice. They're very nice Christian people, but no, thank you.
Okay, okay. So listen, so you like the Let It Snow, Boys the Men. That's what you like.
That's all they need to sing, and then they can go home.
Okay, I'm with you on that. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. I like that. Now, let's do this. Which I hate to even ask you this question because I know you ain't a sport person, but I'm gonna ask you one. Which sport would you attempt to rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Can you bowl? Can you bowl any part?
I can bowl. I can bowl. I'm not saying I'm a win, but I think that's because I approach bowling very different than people who bowl. And since
Okay,
I'm
how do you approach it?
Michigan is a very like these people bowl. They have their own balls, they have their own bags, they
Hmm.
have their own. I'm gonna tell you this. Last summer, my church was like, "Oh, we're gonna have this bowling event," and they called it "Good Clean Christian Fun." We're gonna go bowling for good, clean Christian fun. When I showed
Okay.
up at the bowling alley, they had their own jerseys, they had their own shoes, they had their balls, and they were arguing with the people that the lanes wasn't waxed enough. Oh, this is not good, clean Christian fun. Because I just thought we was gonna come around and shoot a few balls, maybe hit a strike, maybe get a spare, keep it.
Oh,
And they was in here. This was serious for them.
okay.
They
Wow.
didn't want me on their team because I wasn't serious enough. And I was like, I just thought we was here for good, clean Christian fun. I thought that we were bonding. I didn't know this was for bragging rights. So
Yeah.
I can bowl. I think if I get in my bowling bag and really get with the people and how
Mhm.
get my little jersey and stuff, I could bowl. I just have to get
Do you need the bumpers? That's all I need to know. Do you need the bumpers?
bumpers. I don't need the bumpers. But I'm
Okay.
also someone like we could be bowling and it could be my turn. I could be like, oh, you could bowl for my turn. I'm gonna finish this slice of pizza right now.
Yo, I
I'm
I cannot. I cannot, man.
unserious about I because I think it's just like fun and people be so serious about it. And I just be like, oh, I thought we was having fun. And we don't be having fun.
No, no. Anytime you ask about the flow being waxed, no.
Yeah.
That's
I be like,
you a
oh,
little bit
that's
too serious. A little bit too serious.
when you bring your own ball. And you're like, I don't even care what, like, I'm picking my ball based on what's the prettiest color. I don't care about the weight. I'm gonna roll it either way.
It could be 14 pounds. You just go you gonna pick up the ball, be like, you know what, forget this being that
If
heavy.
it's
It's
my
pink.
ball, like, absolutely.
Oh my
Fingers
God.
falling out and everything. So yes, but I don't know how to play badminton. So I would rather take my chances at bowling. And I also know that they serve nachos at the bowling alley.
Okay. I can't take your ass bowling. Can't do it. You gotta do something else. You gotta do something else, man. You eat
It's for
nachos. You eat nachos, talking about eating pizza, bowl for me, picking up balls that's heavier than what you supposed to be picking up. Oh Lord. Okay.
But actually, I will say that because I do that, I can bowl with like usually 14, 15 pounds is usually the ball I pick.
Okay. All
I
right.
do really
Okay.
well. I feel like if I really,
Mhm.
went bowling, like my job have a whole bowling league. They be out there bowling every week. But also
Okay.
I can't join their league because they serious.
Right. Right. People. If you're not bowling well, you will get that good,
Go to the
clean,
high
crisp
school team.
fun
I
go
can't
out the
even go to
window.
the high school team right now. I need to like just go to the bowling alley once a week and get
Mhm.
myself together before I go to somebody league or something.
I love that. Okay. Okay. Do you like desserts?
Yes.
Okay. So here's my thing. I'm gonna throw four categories out at you. You have to choose one of these categories you'll never eat again.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. The first category is ice cream. The second category is cookies. The third category is candy. The last category is cake. Which one are you getting rid of that you'll never eat again?
Cookies.
She just said cookies. Did I hear that right? You said cookies?
Yeah, but okay. I'll tell
Talk
you
to
this.
me.
In my
Talk to me.
defense, I am
Mhm.
a very plain eater.
Okay.
So I only eat chocolate chip cookies
Okay.
and maybe an oatmeal raisin cookie. Maybe an Oreo every now and then.
Okay.
But
Okay.
like, so I'm not really, I'm not a triple chocolate chunk. I'm not a white macadamia nut. I'm not going to the crumble. I don't want sweet potato pie cookie. I just want a plain chocolate chip, no nuts, no frills, no throws. Maybe
Yes.
a oatmeal raisin. Like I'm not even eating snickerdoodle cookies. I was a
Wow.
Girl Scout for 10 years and I barely eat Girl Scout cookies. Like,
What about gingerbread? No gingerbread?
I think they smell nice. I might eat a hand, but I'm not gonna eat the whole cookie. Maybe a foot. I'm not eating the
You
whole
go
cookie.
hold on, you gonna eat the hand and foot? You gonna leave a foot?
I'm not gonna eat the whole. Okay, Ginger's gonna be limping. He's around.
Wow.
He'll be limping.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't eat a lot of cake. I do
Okay.
like wedding cake, and I do like cake that has pineapple filling. But that's
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now, if somebody, grandma, a church mother makes a 7 Up cake, a pound cake, I'll eat that.
You know
And,
what? When
and
I mentioned that out here, they looked at me foreign. But you got to understand, when I mentioned that out here, we're only 3% black, African
yeah,
American, where I'm at.
yeah, I know where you. I know the people. I think I know the other three black people over there too. Yeah, I love a pound cake. I love a 7 Up cake. I love something when you say, "Oh, you just use 1 cup of flour, 2 sticks of butter, 3 eggs." Oh yeah, Go make a little lemon icing for that. Yep, absolutely. And I want it fresh out the oven.
I
And
know
that
that's right. I know that's right.
I'm going to eat that. I might eat 3 slices. Like it might be concerning.
Okay, I'm with you on that. All right. So hold on. Do you like potato chips? Okay. So same format. You gotta. I'm throwing out four brands. You gotta get rid of one of these brands. Okay. So here we go. First one is Pringles. The second one is Doritos. The third one is Lay's. The last one is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid of?
I used to get rid of two of them. Not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna get rid of Pringles.
Oh hell no! She just said
I
she.
only eat the sour cream and onion Pringles.
You
And
don't eat the barbecue. What about the cheddar?
no, they your fingers be too sticky afterwards.
All
They
right.
just be orange.
Well, what you think the sour cream and onion fingers gonna be like?
It's a lot less dust. It's a lot less. But other people make barbecue chips and cheddar chips. Nacho
Sure.
cheese Fritos are like the best selling flavor right there. You can get
They're the second best.
if people make Cheetos, you can get that. But once again, I'm a black girl from the South. It's all about the hot chip. Where are the hot fries, the hot Cheetos, the hot Funyuns, the hot popcorn? This is what I'm living off of. Where is the red dye 40? Please.
I ain't trying to burn my damn tongue. I'm good. I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing hot. No. Well, listen.
I eat the flaming hot ruffles. And that's when they have sold out of everything else.
Okay. God bless your heart is all I can tell you. Because I'm gonna tell you
I'm
like
getting
this.
old now. I'm getting a little heartburn. I can't eat the whole bag in one sitting. I have to break it up. But I'm still
Right, right. I can't do that hot Cheeto stuff. I'm gonna eat about five. After that, give me the puffs. I want the puffs after that.
hot Cheeto puffs. I love those. I eat
Mm-mm.
like when they do the Lay's baked hot Cheetos. Absolutely.
My Lord.
I tried the Lay's kettle hot chips.
Okay,
Absolutely.
let me ask you: are you somebody that puts hot sauce on pretty much everything?
No,
Do you eat hot sauce?
I do eat hot sauce.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good. I eat hot sauce on chicken and eggs. Your
Okay.
face, your face. Hold
I
on now.
don't
Back
necessarily
up. We going to rewind that. Your face. I thought something was wrong with my camera, but you had a still moment. What? Why you make that face like that?
I don't eat out eggs, so I had to kind of think, and I had to think of all things people eat with eggs, ketchup and
Yeah.
things. I don't really.
No, I never had ketchup.
I once again, I'm a Southern girl, so I want that hot, hot piece of fish out the grease with a white piece of bread, a white slice of bread with a little bit of hot sauce. If I'm feeling a little bit of country, go ahead and give me a little bit of mustard to really tear that thing up. Absolutely, I do love me some hot sauce, but I'm
And
not
mustard and mustard.
you not that country, not that country. It's okay. Look, I'm telling you this. I know you don't cook and this might be for your listeners. You want to get a good piece of fish? Go ahead, coat that thing in a little mustard. Before you drop before you put that bread on there and drop it in that grease. I
Okay,
I tell you a joke, but I never tell you a lie. A good piece of catfish, a
right.
meaty fat piece of catfish, fresh out the grease, dripping on a piece of white bread.
I'm taking mental notes. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm taking mental notes because you right.
Get a
I
meal.
thought I was country, but no. I guess I'm not
I
country.
ain't never missed a meal. Let me tell you something.
Okay,
I was raised in the city, but I eat some real country.
I feel you on that. I ain't got no problem with that. I love that. Okay, okay, okay. You did pretty good on this or that. I like that. Let me ask you this: if you wasn't involved in journalism, okay, if that wasn't your career path, what career path would you have chosen and why?
If I wasn't a journalist
Hmm.
in the big year of 2024, I probably would have either gone to law school
Okay.
or I would have gone to business school.
Hmm. Okay. I like that.
That business school seems kind of sketchy. I don't even think that would have happened. I probably would have gone to law school, and I'm not sure if I would have been a lawyer. I probably would have just worked in policy or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
in like on political campaigns.
Okay.
High school, I really want to be a speechwriter.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah,
I can see you doing that. I can see you excelling in that
I
too.
think that's probably something I would probably, like have a law degree, didn't really use it, and like politics adjacent.
Hmm. Okay. Now this next question has to do with advice. What
Mhm.
is some advice? Now we talked about advice you gave, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Um, I think some advice that I had a professor in college,
Okay.
um, and this is paraphrasing, but his phrase would always be, who could do it better than you? Like, if you don't do it, will it get done? And if you're thinking about the competition, are you better than them? Are you more equipped? Do you have more skills? And why do you think that they can beat you? Um, so I always just kind of say when I feel like I can't do something or that I might not, be ready to jump to the next level, it's like, who's my competition?
Hmm.
Where'd they go to school? Do I think they know more than me? Um, and so because you are a sports person, I will say that is like That's my game day prep. That's my,
That's
song.
your mindset.
I am, when it comes down to it, I tell myself, you put me toe to toe with anybody, I'm gonna come off on top. Because you can't beat me because you don't want it more than me. So that's always, my professor was very intent on if I was applying for a job or an internship, I'd be like, I don't think so. There's, going to be 1,000 people applying for this job. And it's always, do you think that they're better than you? And the answer is no. I don't think they have more skills than me. I don't think they know more than me. So no, I don't think you're better than me. I think I'm better than you.
Which is obviously a mindset that you got to have because it's this is that kind of industry, right? Because there's always somebody that's in every job. There's somebody who's willing to replace you, but especially in this industry where it's very competitive, you definitely got to have that mindset. I wanted to ask you this question because it's a bonus question that came up from my mind, and that is, have you ever thought about going in front of the camera? I mean, you obviously have the camera loves you. Let's just put it like that. The camera
Um,
loves.
have you been talking to my parents and my orthodontist? That's
You.
um no. So I will say this: when I was in high school and I was like, "Oh, I think I want to study journalism," my parents were like, "Yes, our daughter's going to be on the news. She's going to be on camera." And I did a couple internships following reporters, and I was like, "This just really isn't for me." Um,
Hmm.
it's not for me. I do know a lot of producers who have transitioned from being a producer to being an on-air talent. Uh,
Yeah.
but the thing that I love the most about producing is the creative control. I love the fact that I can take an idea that is in my head, something that's never been done, something that I've only seen in my head and make it come to life. I appreciate the fact that I can take five, six, seven stories that have nothing to do with each other and string them along in a way that feels very fluid, very conversation like. I
Right.
appreciate the fact that I can say, no, I've sat down, I've gone through news of the day, and these are the top five stories that you need to know before you walk out of your door. I
Right.
appreciate that level of creative control, and I know if I went to the other side, you lose that. And not saying that, anchors and reporters don't have some level of contribution, but there is a very, very, very small news hierarchy that at some point, when it comes down to making a final decision, about coverage, that decision is usually made from an editorial standpoint from someone behind the camera, whether it's an executive producer or something like that. When it comes down to like, oh no, there's breaking news, we're going to do this now. That's not
Hmm.
an anchor or a reporter who gets to make that decision. And so I think it's easier to tell the stories that you want to tell, and it's easier to do the things you want to do when you have that creative control. Because there, in terms of anchor and producer, there are less people that I have to answer to in terms
Sure.
of story selection. Like I only have to answer to my executive producer about why I have this story in there, why this story is there. Like my anchor might ask me about it, but it's not the same level of scrutiny as opposed to like a reporter saying, oh, I want to do this story. And it's like, well, there's 17 other more important stories. So you won't be doing that one. So I think that's it. So it's not really something that crossed my mind. For me to be an on-air talent, I would have to be like a Lester Holt. I would have to be my own executive producer. And Lester Holt is holding down his job quite well. Like they are not looking to replace him. So
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I think I'll have to wait a couple of
That's
days.
okay. That's okay. Listen, they always say good things come to those who wait, not for
Yes.
those who wait too late. Okay. I don't mean to quote a song for you, but 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 I did that. I just did. Okay. So here we go. We are on the final stretch here. So we got rapid fire questions. Okay. So the first thing, Kyra, that comes to your mind, you just blurt it out. Okay.
This is dangerous, please.
This is very dangerous. Here we
Is there
go.
editing on this podcast?
You've been doing so good. I love it. Burgers or tacos?
Tacos,
Okay. Ribs or chicken?
ribs,
Waffles or pancakes?
waffles.
If you had three people to take with you on a vacation, and you can go anywhere that you want to go, who would you take and where would you go?
I have to take them all at the same time.
Well, it'd be a hell of a vacation if you didn't. I would tell you that. Yeah.
Um, I would take anyone. I think I would take three of my closest friends.
Okay. Three of your closest friends. You don't want to leave nobody out. That's what it is. I know. I
I,
know it.
I was thinking, I was like, well, I could take
I knew you said. I knew you was when you said that.
like
I was like,
if I take my mama,
right,
who else I'm gonna bring?
right. Okay. So where would you go with your three closest friends?
We would have to go like off the Amalfi Coast or something. Like we need to go to the south of France. We need to
Hmm.
go there, see what the people are doing. We need to, Milan. We need to be on.
Okay.
We need to be like going through the canals of the city.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Favorite color?
My favorite color, black.
Spades or dominoes?
Spades.
You know, I play some spades.
Absolutely. Now I
Okay.
will say this: there will be people who say I can't play spades. That's not true. That's not true. I can play
Okay.
spades. I'm a hell of a partner.
You are okay. All right. I have to keep that in
Depends
mind.
on, like what kind of spades y'all playing. Is this good, clean Christian fun, or we cussing people out? Like there's a difference, and
Oh, listen. I'm adaptable. It could start off good, clean Christian fun, but as soon as you start slapping them cards down on the table, it's gonna be
I
a
don't.
little different.
That's why I don't play with everybody. I want to see y'all play the first round before I get in there. Because if y'all
Listen,
cheating
I
thing,
feel that. I feel that.
I mean, then flip the table. We don't even need to do that.
Listen, we almost on this past cruise. Before I get into this more rapid fire, we almost flipped the table over Uno. Okay, people was cussing people out over Uno because of the draw fours. Okay, they was cussing people out. My family.
I actually, one of my best friends and I rarely ever argue, but Uno, I would never, ever, ever, ever sit down as long as I'm black and there's breaking my body at an Uno table with her. I'm the most vicious person ever. And she sits down, she's like, my daddy taught me how to play Uno, and it's all about strategy. I'm a beat you. And it's like, why do I have 25 cards in my hand? This is so
Right.
unnecessary.
Right.
No money on this game. Why are you acting like this?
This
I
is
don't
crazy.
I can't do it.
I
Love
feel
it, but I would never play Uno with her. Maybe phase 10.
that. That's a much
Play
safer
phase
game.
with her before I play Uno with her. You pull out the
I
Uno
feel
card,
that.
I'm getting up from the table. I don't want to participate. And let's
Okay.
be clear, Uno is for people who don't know how to play spades.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, I feel you on that. What's your favorite board game?
Candyland.
Okay, throwback. I like that. I'm shoots and ladders. That's my favorite. No question. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Pina colada.
If you like pina coladas, okay, I'm with you on that. All right. Favorite, I would say TV show.
Of all time.
Could be current, could be all time, either or.
A different
Mm.
world.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Now hold on, I gotta ask you though. Was it a different world with Lisa Bonet, or was it the one with Dwayne and then after Lisa?
Yeah, ain't no don't nobody watch season one. I mean, they did their best to keep it up until season two
They
started, but
did. They did. They tried. They tried.
I will not say I don't think it's because of Lisa Bonet. I think season two is where Debbie Allen really got very involved, and as an HBCU alum of Howard University, she was able to really, craft it into something that was reflective of HBCUs and not like a fic. It didn't feel fictional after
Right.
season.
Right. I feel you. Different World definitely one of my favorite shows. A couple more on the rapid fire. If you had three songs that you can listen to on repeat and never get tired of, what would those three songs be? Mm,
Right. Okay, you
mm,
ready?
I'm ready.
Order My Steps. That's a that's a good one. We can listen to Order My Steps on repeat.
Okay.
These are gonna seem a little wild. Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto.
What? What did she just say?
That is it's such a great song. I love that song. And As by Stevie Wonder. I love Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto. I love
Okay.
music though. That's my I love some Christmas music and I love
Okay.
soulful Christmas music. And something about Santa Claus Go Straight to the Ghetto, it's just
Wow.
it warms.
Wow. That is definitely a first here on the Work Hard Play Hard podcast.
Have
We
you
ain't never
heard this
heard that.
song?
We ain't never heard no Santa Claus go straight to the ghetto as somebody's favorite song. We ain't never heard that. But it's good. It's good. I'm liking it. You're unique. You're unique. And I love that. That's awesome. What's your third song?
As by Stevie Wonder.
Oh yes, absolutely. That is a classic song that's been remade so many times. I would say definitely a Stevie Wonder song of mine is Take the Time Out. That's one of my favorite songs of his. And also Tomorrow Robbins Will Sing. If you know that song.
Well, if we're talking favorite Stevie, number one favorite Stevie is Isn't She Lovely?
Sure.
Um, love, 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 love that song. Um, obviously As and
Yeah.
Ribbon in the Sky. Oh my gosh.
See, there's so many Stevie songs. It's hard to do three, but I mean, if I had to add like a third one to that, I like the master blaster, the master jamming. I like that one. I like that one. Just the,
Like I would really have to like sit down and be like, all right,
but
I
we
want
could do a top. You could do a top 50 of Stevie songs. Like he got bangers,
yes, absolutely.
no question. Now this is my last rapid fire question to you. Okay, so if they told you, look here, Kyra, we only want you to do one thing for the rest of your career, which is produce or be a writer, which one would you choose to do?
Produce.
Produce. Okay. Okay. I like that. I do. And listen, you do a great job. I mean, obviously, anybody who's around you, they can tell you're just infectious with your personality and your hard work too. You about business, and I love that. But you also about having a good time. I love that too. It's been a pretty dope conversation, girl. Pretty dope, and you got me
Why?
definitely. This was fun. This was very fun. I want to ask this last question to you, and that is there anything else that you would like to add about your job, yourself, or anything at all before you conclude, or before we conclude, I should say?
I'll say this. In a time where there's a lot of misinformation, where there's a lot of disinformation,
Mm-hmm.
I encourage people of all races, nationalities, ages, genders, identities, look for yourself. Ask the
Right.
questions. Simple Google searches can, really help you find the answer and support local journalism. Like get a subscription to a paper, support the Black press. You will only be misinformed, disinformed if you are not getting news from a reputable source. So
Mm,
that's why I believe everyone should have at least one subscription, one paid. We pay for journalism, one paid subscription to a publication, whether it's a national publication or a local publication. And I think people should read the Black press, like find out the the paper in your area, the paper in your region, and read it. Support what they're doing, um,
absolutely.
because journalism is that last pillar of democracy, and if we allow it to crumble or be bastardized, we will lose out on a lot of information. So that's my push to the viewers. My push to everyone is get a subscription. Read something. Please read an article. An article a day can save so much misinformation.
You ain't never lied on that. You definitely ain't got to sweet talk me on that one. I'm totally with the paid subscription and being able to support our local publications because we're a dying breed. The publication that really is, since we're everything's switching off to digital now. Support your local newspapers, support your local reporters. I absolutely 10,000% agree with what Kyra is saying. With that being said, I want you to have a wonderful Wednesday night and the rest of your week. And you and I will definitely be in touch. There's no question about that. You take
Yeah.
care.
Bye.